Oh, en route to a 55-50 halftime lead. The lead was 19 at one point, down to a handful at the break. American Express halftime report. Studio J in Atlanta. Chuck, Kenny, Shaq. I'm Ernie Johnson, University of Georgia.
Oh my God!
#1 in the nation.
Until next Saturday. Until next Saturday.
And you're lucky y'all don't play LSU. Y'all scared of us.
I was watching. LSU got a beat down coming Saturday, so don't worry about that.
That's who you got?
Oh, I got the Tide.
Make it like
but I got my hands full.
Hold on.
I just want to tell my Auburn people this. Don't look past lightweight Texas A&M. Worried about Georgia next week. Go down to College Station, spank Texas A&M, and then I'll see y'all next weekend for the Bulldogs.
Chuck, you're not allowed to
You're going to the Bulldogs next week.
You're not allowed to speak for Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to go to Texas A&M and stomp them like dogs.
You going to let them get away with being a bandwagon fan?
I'm not an Alabama fan.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
They're going to beat LSU this weekend.
Okay.
Well, shout out to the Houston Astros. How's that?
Make it light on yourself.
Shout out to the
Houston Astros, World Series champ.
Clutch City 2.
All of that being said,
Clutch City 2.
Georgia Bulldogs, #1 in the nation.
Oh, my God.
And here are the American Express
Ernie, I can't wait till next Saturday.
Me either. And I can't wait for the week after that when I get to see you again. LaMarcus Aldridge, 15 points in the first half. 4 out of 13 from the floor, has 6 boards. He and Kyle Anderson combining for 20. We talked about LaMarcus Aldridge in the pregame show, Shaq. You were saying that he needs to be meaner, or
more aggressive.
More aggressive.
Yeah, but see, like I say,
he said he was too nice.
He's too nice when he's playing with another great player. He takes a back seat to Kawhi, and Kawhi is amazing. But you can still have 2 alpha males, and for some reason, he's such a nice guy. He's just too passive.
There you go. So with all of that being said.
And, you know, for a guy like him, he's primarily a jump shooter. So, when we say be aggressive, everybody can get the wealth, but he cannot be primarily a jump shooter when we say be aggressive. He has to, do both.
Spurs, who started the year 4-0, have lost 3 in a row, trying to stop that skid tonight. What do you got on their offense?
Well, in the world of what I call mooning people, staying around the 3-point line.
Well, your mooning ain't the same as my mooning.
What?
It's because the arc looks like a half moon, and guys stay around it. And I say, you just staying out there, and it's mooning people. So the Spurs do a little bit something different because they don't just stay around the 3-point line, but I knew I would get your attention with that name of what it was.
Yeah.
And so what happens is as you bring the ball up court and you bring it down, most guys say stop, freeze it here. Everyone stops at the 3-point line. If you look at Kyle Anderson, look at McCall, even Aldridge is at the 3-point line. There's no one in the paint. They're around the moon. So, okay, but the Spurs have kind of put a twist on it. So as McCall drives, freeze it again, I'm not going to settle for the short jump shot. I have to get a steady diet of 2s. And that's what the Spurs have done over the years. And when Kawhi comes in, as we let it go, this what makes them different because they get a steady diet of the 2-point basket. Again, they come off the pick and roll. Most guys pick and pop. Now we got to post up here inside of the free throw line. You got guys staying on the 3-point line, but if you don't, you foul because you have the mismatch. But when you move it around, again, they are not having a steady diet of 3-point shots. Freeze it here. He pitches out. This would be a normal 3-point shot for 85% of the teams in today's game. But when he gets it here, even Danny Green pump fakes and says, I can come in and get a 2. And all the people who do not like 2-point shots, those count too. And you need a diet of both, which allows a 3-point shot to actually work when you're able to drive by people running at you.
Does that rank as one of the best descriptions of mooning you've heard?
I like my way better. I like my mooning better than that thing. Ernie, it's frustrating watching this game, though, because the Warriors are just going through the motions. It's like they get down 18. Okay, we're going to win at some point. And I hate that. I mean, I want them to be challenged. They're a great team. But
if you were three times going to the NBA Finals, how would you, Charles Barkley, the player, get yourself ready for Game 9 of the NBA season?
But to me, it's just kind of disrespectful because it's like you could just.
No, how would you do it though?
Well,
it's hard to do, Chuck.
I understand that, but I'm saying, like you're playing against yourself. You got to play against yourself.
Yeah, that's understandable. But when you know you can beat somebody, right, and it's just not really a challenge, you just, like you say, you just go through the motion.
Yeah.
But you know, every now and then, you know, it's those games where you got to play against LeBron, you got to play against the Clippers.
Yeah.
You know what used to happen? Honestly,
Spurs without.
Last thing, when we did it
That's
twice back-to-back, you know what would happen in games before this? There would be fights, team fights in the locker room or in practice. Like agitate. We just agitate each other to get each other to play better.
Yeah,
that was the only way to do it.
Yeah, that's why guys like Big Country always used to dominate, because I never really, you know.
But you know the other way to look at it is when you take the floor, always assume there's somebody out there who's never seen you play before, never seen your team play before.
Well, then you should get cable.
This is the impression. This is the